the whole thing behind lavender is that my mother absolutely despises that color, and I adore that color.
I
So
love it too.
I use it to just kind of get under my mother's skin, and it just makes us laugh. So I call it Yaya Lavender, and then just having all my nails done that way. So I'm excited for her to see me in full pinks and purples, and it'll just make her cringe.
Jason Momoa, man, what a hell of a performance, man. I loved you in this movie. I love this movie. It's so big. The stunts are wild and crazy. And Michelle Rodriguez on that motorcycle, she does those tricks I've never seen before. But I got to ask you, when I spoke to you at Slumberland, you kind of talked about putting on the wardrobe to get into the character Flip. Was that a similar situation getting into the character of Dante?
Yeah, I mean, I really weigh heavily on wardrobe and props. I mean, it's my lack of acting skills where I really need their help. And I feel like when you put on that, I really built a lot of this wardrobe with obviously a costume designer, but just had a lot of ideas what I wanted. I feel like Flip, Trish had that all pretty much dialed, but I didn't want it to come in with a lot of colors. Like I really was inspired by pastel colors. I wanted something that was like warm and inviting. And then when you got close to him, you're just like, that's the devil, and the devil tricked me. So that was kind of the whole idea.
Speaking of the colors, I actually got to check out your Impala in person. And from what I was told, they match the color of that car to your nail polish, which then they match to your wardrobe. Can you talk to me about kind of designing your own car in that sense?
Well, they weren't that keen on letting me have a lavender car. And they were like, I think Neil was like, no, we're not doing lavender. I'm like, dude, I want a lavender. And they budged. And my mother, the whole thing behind lavender is that my mother absolutely despises that color, and I adore that color. So I use it to just kind of get under my mother's skin, and it just makes us laugh. So I call it Yaya Lavender, and then just having all my nails done that way. So I'm excited for her to see me in full pinks and purples, and it'll just make her cringe. And so that gives me a lot of joy.
Now, your character kind of seems like the Joker of the Fast and the Furious universe with his nature and his flamboyancy and his cruel and the way he's cruel. What inspired some of that character development we see with Dante?
Well, I just think of you sit in your imagination, and you come from a crime family, and my father was taken from me, and then everything was taken from me. So not only that, but all our money. He was left to defend for himself in Brazil, and he just spent a good, part of his life just obsessing about Dom and having that revenge. So someone who's just had everything taken from them, he just wanted to hurt him in the worst way and take away that legacy of his. And obviously it's his child and break his family apart. So I don't know. I feel like if you studied someone that much, you actually want to be them, and you love them, and you want to wear their skin and become that. And that's what a psycho is. And so you just kind of just play it that way, and you can emotionally, anything can come out. It can be funny, it can be sexy, it can be scary, but it's like at the root of it, I want to wear your skin.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell you, it's weird because you're so charismatic as Dante. It captured me right away, but you're also as equally terrifying as Dante, which is an incredible shift that you do with the character. Can you talk about infusing some offbeat humor into the character as well?
Well, I mean, for instance, Dom, we've had a big fight scene planned for me and him, and we've seen that and we've done that, and they don't need to get into the showdown of, fighting each other. I think it's way more interesting he gets the shit kicked out of him and he loves it. Like to get off on being beat up and just so you can get close to him because he has something he's got the upper hand. He constantly has the upper hand on Dom. And it's not that we don't want to see them fight because that showdown's going to come and that'll be violent, especially with someone who just adores pain and is probably already dead inside. It's scary when someone's getting off on that pain, and so I wanted that to be there. And through that, his humor. I have a lost molar. I never took my wisdom teeth out because I'm a wussy, and I'm terrified of dentists. So I, cracked my molar, and so I have this gap here, and I was like, this would be funny if you just beat the shit out of me. I'll like pull my tooth out and dick or poopy and just throw it at him, and then whoa, and we just made all that up. I'm like, you don't like ballet, and he's like, what? And I just like, and they let me do it, and I was like, started doing Swan Lake, and I literally am googling Swan Lake on set, going like, oh, I got to figure out how to do this. And I don't know if they left it in there, but I'm dancing around, and there's stuntmen and there's grown ass men watching me prance around and do ballet. And I haven't seen the movie yet, but hopefully it's in there. But yeah, it just kind of gets born within the moments,
Dude, thank you so much for your time. You're so fantastic in this movie, and I love this franchise. I think this might be my favorite installment. So thank you so much for your time, Jason.
That's super cool, man. Well, obviously the next one's going to be even bigger and better. So thanks for watching. I'm excited to see it tonight with my friends and family. So I haven't got to see it yet. So it'll be a very exciting day.
Bro, candy for my eyes this movie was. I could not look away from the screen. Thank you so much for your time, Jason.
I'm going to steal that quote. Thank you. That was a wonderful,
Thanks, Jason.
Wonderful thing to say.
Okay.
Cheers.